Okay, Handyman Lou here. Move all this to the side. Some thread locker, always have some of that around, you need it. We're going to take this engine I took out of previously someone's bike. Look at it. See that? It's a BBR engine. I don't know what he did. I don't know if he didn't put any. Still works in this part. See, nice and smooth. So we're going to take the head piston out. There's a couple ways you can do it, man. The best way is get a needle nose pliers, because that's the thinnest thing you can use, and grab the pin that's inside. Don't lose the pin, you may need it. There it is. I got it. Stick it somewhere safe. I know where it's at. Turn the engine around. Grab the flathead screwdriver and the narrow flathead screwdriver. I'm going to grab that pin and I'm going to hit it down. Most likely it'll be stiff from when he did not. I assume he didn't put the correct ratio gas in here. The only way of getting this off is to force that pin out of there. It is coming. It's coming very stripped. It's very dry. Gives me more trouble than this. Although we'll go get the punch like you're supposed to, but most people don't have every friggin' tool in the world, so I'm just showing examples of how you can do it without having a steel punch. There it is. Look at that piston, man. Look what he did to that. That's from not putting the right mixture in. Okay? That's trash. Not even the rings are good. So, the bearings are missing from there. The bearing center. Let's see if it's inside the engine. Nope, here it is. Fell out when I pulled it off. So, these here are needle bearings. They go in with that. Where's that damn piston? I gotta check and see if this needle bearing still works. It does work, but I would only use it as a last option, because the donating needle, the donating piston, I already have brand new. That's the one that I was going to rebuild. I was talking about in the last video. I wanted to rebuild this engine. Unfortunately, the stems on these things, the way they make them, I'll show you, are like real thin. I haven't ran into another engine yet in the last 6 months that are the same as that. All the rest of them are this thick. Or normal, this size. This one is this size comparison. There you go. See it? That don't make sense. Manufacturers are making it harder for us guys to help out people and do things. But it's okay. Not a problem. Grab your little needle nose. pull the spring out. I don't think I got it. Need some WD-40 on these pliers. They sit around in this shed, hardly used. They're brand new, but I never use them. So they start stiffening up, they start catching a little rust. Luckily for me today, I'm using this one, so I caught the rust. And I WD-40 in the bad boy. These are brand new. Man, I never used them, hardly, ever. Grab the pin, the Jesus clip, whatever you want to call it. Pull it out. Brand new clip. So this is the one I'm reusing on that rebuilding engine. I'm going to reuse that one. Now this wrist pin should come out 100 times easier than that last one I just tried doing. You literally can just force this one out by hand. I'm using the wrong screwdriver. I need a thinner screwdriver. See? Came right out. I didn't even have to force it. So now this gets put aside. Still parts on there can be salvaged from. The new bearing is right there. You can see the difference in the colors. How nice and shiny it still is. There's your new wrist pin with some new rings. Here's that old head on the inside. I don't know how much you can see. You have to use the light. When you see the light get lighter, that's a scratch. When it's darker, it's a regular cylinder head. So that's this is junk, along with where's that other? This is a junk and the junk piston. These two will get thrown out in the trash or in the scrap pile. Now I got two heads. I got this one and I got this one. Let me look, see if they're both 50s, 80s. They are. Doesn't matter which one so I'm going to take the better one. Brand new. I'll take this one. Yeah, this one has a more polished look. We're using this one because it has a polished look inside. And bring this head over here, this engine. Let's start to assemble the piston. Now, you see the arrow on that piston? The arrow points towards the exhaust side. So it goes like this, towards the front of the engine. That means pointed to the front, that's what it means. You stick the bearing in between the crank rod. There you go. Push the piston onto the rod. Might have to go right through the center here in order to get done. And then just take this wrist, your piston wrist pin, find the center. It should go in by hand. You shouldn't have to force it. Just like that. Take that skinny screwdriver, hit it to the bottom of the other clip, E-clip that's holding it in. Now we're going to have to, sometimes they go right in and sometimes they don't. You take the clip, start it on one end, and you force it down. You gotta do whatever you gotta do. Push it with a screwdriver. Until you hear it clip in. Just make sure it's into the groove inside the piston. Voila! New piston installed. Has a good gasket, better than the one I was going to use. So we'll put that on the side. The next thing is the head. Now, how to tell which way this head goes. Your intake side is straight, flat, with this section. Whereas your exhaust side comes off to the, let's see, if you're standing in front of it, it comes off to your left. Bring the flat part towards you, it shoots off to the left. So this is your front. You bring it in, you walk it down, slide the piston in there. Here's the complicated part. This is the part where most people don't get. They break the rings. You need to make sure these rings, this piston has a little dowel inside the side of the piston, and each of these rings has a little half cut on the ring, so that they go right where those little dowels are, so you can squeeze the ring in. You gotta find the one on this side, and there's one on the opposite side right here. Let's just say, if you're looking down at it, there's one at 7 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and there's one at 4 o'clock. So you gotta bring the ring around here till you find that dowel at the 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, whatever, wherever it is. Since I'm half blind already, you know, eyes are starting to fail. Let's put the glasses on. Find the right. And there it is. Like I said, one at 4 o'clock and one at 7 o'clock. Actually, this one's at 5 o'clock and this one's at 7 o'clock. Again, making sure your angled port is facing where the arrow is, towards the front of the engine. So you don't really have to do that twice. You line the piston up to fit through the center. You squeeze the ring into those dowels. Squeeze it again. Where is it at? Right there. Squeeze the ring with your fingers, your thumbs, or whatever you got to do. Squeeze it. Push it down while you're at it. You have to wiggle. Don't force it down. You wiggle it in. You squeeze the ring. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Down it went. See that? I used my thumbnails and everything, you know, on 2 sections while I'm pushing down. Alright, next is the head. I have a head sitting around here somewhere. I threw it in the box. Do not put that head on without a gasket. There's your gasket. Put the gasket on top. Voila. Now, it's up to you. You could put the spark plug facing backwards. More than 50% of the bikes, if you put the spark plug backwards, the spark plug wire will not fit onto the bike because the bar starts coming down. Always. My tech tip to you, put the spark plug towards the front here. And if you're still having a problem, you can put the baby to the left or to the right, whatever suits you. You could do that. It's allowed. The bike will still run the same. Just people do this for cohesion, to make it look neat. Now, I have to find all the you know, this has been a couple days going. Alright, we have to find all the washers, the nuts that go on here. This one here is a bad piston, I believe. Let me see. Yeah, this is a bad piston. Let's throw this down here on the ground. Get it out of here so I don't make no mistakes. These two are good pistons. No, this is a bad piston. That goes on the scrap pile. This is a good piston. Goes in the good pile. Found it. Oh, I found half of them. No, that's not them. But you be sure I'm using this for the flat washers for the head. Since I don't want to go looking around for them. So we'll just use them. There's 2 lock washers, 2 flat washers on there. When I find the castle nuts, I'll put them on there. I don't know if we can use these. You can use them if you have to. But not threading. It's not threading right. So let's put this chain back here. This chain and this chain. These 3 chains are for that double motor bicycle double motor kit, double motor projects I have going on. It's just giving me a really hard time to do. That one is not easy. And I'm still looking for the castle nuts and washers for the share bike. I need a couple days off of that bike. I need more than just a few hours off of that. I need some time off of that bike. Here's another flat washer and a lock washer. We just need one and one more. Here's a flat washer. There's a lock washer. Here's one castle nut. Castle nut number 2. Castle nut number 3, castle nut number 4. Great. Let me see here. We have a gasket sitting here. It seems to be the gasket 40. It is. So we're going to throw this in the box in case I use the gasket for the original motor. I got the intake manifold. I see the manifold sitting down there. I'm going to take this, tighten that up so I don't forget to tighten it. Got a 9/16 on here. Okay. We're going to lightly go down so it stops. I mean, you can go by the torque specs if you want, but I go by my torque spec like this. One. Crisscrossing it, of course. Not doing it. Just left to right. And that's it. I mean, it has to be super tight. It has to be way over torqued. Getting my drift. Alright, intake manifold. Starting from the scratch. I see the studs that belong on the intake manifold over here. Oh, what would you know? I'm sorry, this is the exhaust manifold. Yeah, sorry, my fault. We'll just stick the 2 studs that go in there on this to make sure I have them. And the gasket there, so I know they're there when I need them. On this side, same thing. On this side, except we have the studs, the actual real studs and nut. So I'm going to put that on. Just loosely put them in there. You don't need to tighten them. We just want to make sure it's a complete motor. That when I go to put it together with some other bike, they're all there. All the pieces will be there. Put a flat we need a lock washer and a flat washer, and just get it started. It does have a half a gasket hanging on there, so we'll figure that out later. We'll cross that bridge when it comes. Because what I did was to replace the guy's motor that blew up. His was brand new. His was only about 3 weeks old, 2 weeks old. So everything around it was brand new. All I did was, you know, open up one of my boxes, pull the motor off, put one of my motors on there. Of course, manifolds were different sizes and all that. And I just stuck the motor on there and, you know, changed what I had to change. Started it up, perfect, runs great, no problems. Then, so now I took his motor out of spare parts that I have around here, you know, motors that I own. I rebuilt this one. This will run as good as new. Do not be afraid, children. It's not going to kill anybody. This will run just like brand new. Put 2 nuts on here. Oh, this is for the bicycle kit. I see now. All these nuts I'm using are for the bicycle kit. Because these are the wrong threads. It's not a problem. We'll leave it alone. I'm going to throw these. Here they are. Here goes the replacement studs, I think, that go in the front of the engine. When you put a plate on it. Let's see if I'm right. Come on, man. There it is. Huh? Let me put a flat washer. Let me put a lock. There's already a lock washer and a flat washer on this side. So let's just put this nut on here. Now we have a complete engine ready to be mounted on somebody's bike. Not yet, really, not yet, but almost. Alright, this stud right here is just being a pain in the ass. And now we're going to do this. Right here, guys. This has a wide spread bore right here. Looking at? I just push one to the side. One of these plates. So you got the plate you need. Take a look at this. Let me see. Yes, sir. That is the one. So we're going to check and see if this fits there. It does. I really don't know. This is really extra long. And this is too thin. So we're not going to. If I have to, I'll cut these down at a later time. I'm not going to actually do that because all my interest was just to show you how to rebuild your engine. Put that right in there. I'll open the holes up to fit those bolts. Voila. Anyway, here's a whole rebuilt BBR engine with a stock head and stock jug. What's happening now is that the stock, it may slow the engine down. It may bring it down to the regular the power as a regular Chinese motor, because these guys they specialize in making your engine faster for you or more horsepower. But we're not going to need that. We're going to need is for it to run. That's it. Alright, Handyman Lou out. 2 short videos back to back. They'll be out today. Goodbye.